This is ABC7 News at 11, your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Good evening, I'm Jacqueline Matter. Thanks for joining us. Topping our news tonight, the Venice Indians are headed to the state championship for football. They beat the three-time defending state champions St. Thomas Aquinas 27-20 tonight for a shot at this year's state title game. We'll have all the highlights of Venice's big win coming up later in sports. In other news, state regulators denying two requests for permission to build new hospitals in Sarasota County. The first coming from Sarasota Memorial Hospital, requesting to build a 60-acre medical campus on its Laurel Road property in Venice. The hospital filed a second application to keep momentum, while its first application, which was approved a year ago, is tied up in litigation. The second request comes from Universal Health Services, which owns Manatee Memorial Hospital and Lakewood Ranch Medical Center, for a 120-bed hospital in Northport. The Florida Agency for Healthcare Administration denying both of those requests. Its reasoning: until a previous case involving Sarasota Memorial is settled, the agency says it considers the original application approved and will not approve the second one. In denying the Northport bid, the agency stated that it does not see a need for a new hospital in Northport. A major car accident in Venice tonight, sending one victim to the hospital. The accident happened at Shamrock Drive and South Tamiami Trail. The victim is reported to be an elderly woman. She was taken to the hospital on a Bayflight helicopter. However, we have no word yet on the extent of her injuries. After having his Longboat Key condo seized by police, a video voyeurism suspect files court papers to get his home back. Wayne Nat was arrested in September after police say he was spying on guests at his Airbnb vacation home using hidden cameras. Florida law allows police to seize property if it was used in felony activity, so the town of Longboat Key tried to take control of that property. However, the Florida Constitution exempts houses with homestead claims from being confiscated, and Nat has claimed homestead exemption on the property in question, which would prevent the courts from taking it. Well, let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan for a look at your first alert forecast.
Thanks, Jacqueline. A beautiful night out tonight all across the Suncoast. Lots of festivities going on to kick off the holiday season. One of those was out at St. Armand's Circle, and we'll talk more about that a little bit later, but it was nice out there. A lot of people showing up too. 66 degrees now, still very mild at this hour, and the dew point temperature 59. Winds are out of the east at 7. The pressure way up there, 30-15. That continues to rise at this time. As far as rain goes, there's a little area of low pressure trying to develop to the north of us now. It's an old frontal boundary. This area of low pressure, not that big, but will eventually head off to the northeast and move away from us over the weekend. So we're looking at decent weather here. In fact, just gorgeous weather will continue right now. These showers will drop to the south a little bit overnight, but not close enough to us to cause any problems or concerns. One concern that we may have is the possibility of some fog forming out ahead of that actual front. A lot of times you get some sea fog that will develop. 66 in Braden right now at 65, Mayaca City, a bit cooler in Arcadia at 61 degrees now, and 67 in Inglewood, Punta Gorda at 62. You'll notice temperatures near the water a little bit warmer in places like Inglewood and also Cortez at 67 degrees. We are anticipating temperatures to be above average too throughout the day tomorrow. As far as the temperatures go to start things off, we'll be down into the low 60s to start things off on Saturday. There will be some fog around. That fog should burn off though, revealing lots of nice weather for the remainder of the day on Saturday. Out the complete weekend weather forecast, and we'll talk about some sweater weather headed our way coming up in just a few minutes. Jacqueline?
All right, thank you so much, Bob. An effort to raise enough money to place holiday wreaths on every gravestone at Sarasota National Cemetery has reached its goal. The Sarasota Military Academy working for weeks to raise all of that money. They feared they would not be able to raise enough to buy the 12,000 wreaths needed for the cemetery. The coordinator for the local chapter of Wreaths Across America is the widow of a veteran and wants to honor all the men and women who have served.
We're proud of our country. And we're proud of the rights we have as citizens here. And the men and women that have fought to protect those rights, many of them are lying at rest here and at other national cemeteries.
As of this morning, the cemetery has surpassed its goal of 12,000 wreaths, and now every gravestone will get one this holiday. Well, Floridians give billions of dollars to thousands of charitable organizations each year, especially around the holidays. However, it can be tough to tell which organizations actually use that money for the services they advertise versus those that mainly spend donations on salaries and others still that are outright scams. Attorney General Pam Bondi's office has released their 2017 Holiday Consumer Protection Guide with various tips on how to determine whether a charity is legitimate or not.
Never respond to high-pressure sales tactics or give your bank account or credit card information to someone who solicited that information, whether that's through an email, a Facebook message, or on the phone.
You can download the Consumer Protection Guide for free online. To get it, visit the Attorney General's website at myfloridalegal.com or head over to mysuncoast.com, where it is also posted online. Healthcare officials say it will cost Florida nursing homes more than $186 million to meet the requirements of a new agency rule. That money would be used to install generators and have 96 hours of fuel to run air conditioners for the facilities. The new rule is replacing an emergency generator rule that Governor Rick Scott issued back in September after 8 residents died at a South Florida nursing home following Hurricane Irma. The nursing home industry said the cost for a generator at a 120-bed facility would be over $315,000. There are currently 683 nursing homes in Florida, but 102 of those already have generators and meet the rule requirements. That means 581 facilities do not and would need financial help to do so. Sarasota County is currently ranked the second highest in Florida for birds with mosquito-borne diseases. And so far this year, 32 sentinel chickens have tested positive for West Nile virus and 4 for St. Louis encephalitis. Every week since August, sentinel chickens in areas including Englewood, Northport, Venice, Osprey, and Sarasota have tested positive for those diseases. The most recent report shows 1 diseased chicken in Englewood, 3 in Northport, and 2 in Osprey. Well, stay with us. Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be back with your first alert forecast. Plus, one of the president's closest advisors pleading guilty to lying to the FBI. And new concerns that Obamacare enrollment could fall short by 2018. We'll have more on those stories when we come back.
When it comes to drinking, what do you think moderation is? The U.S. Dietary Guidelines define moderation as up to 1 drink a day for women and up to 2 drinks a day for men. So what's a drink? The guidelines say a drink equals 12 ounces of beer, 5 ounces of wine, or a cocktail with 1.5 ounces of distilled spirits. Each contains the same amount of alcohol. Like to learn more? Visit drinkinmoderation.org.
Let me introduce you to the ultimate Florida window. Do you feel safer with this or this? You'll be proud too.
Buy more, save more. Volume discounts on 4 or more windows.
Attention type 2 diabetics. The FDA warns of an increased risk of amputation associated with certain diabetes medications. If you took the diabetes medications Invokana or Invokamet and then suffered an amputation or one of these other serious injuries, call the Rely On Group right now. If you've suffered amputation or any of these injuries after taking your diabetes medication, call the Rely On Group today. You may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. The FDA has recently warned about an increased risk of leg and foot amputations associated with the use of certain diabetic medications such as Invokana and Invokamet. If you or a loved one took the diabetes medications Invokana or Invokamet and then suffered an amputation, ketoacidosis, kidney failure, or even death, call the Rely On Group now. We are here to help you get the justice you deserve. You may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. Call 800-355-8205. That's 800-355-8205.
Naomi, my California closet designer, has been my partner in crime. She was genuinely fun to work with. We have had a ball collaborating on the 8 units that we have done in our home. The closets in the house are great, but the den is what everyone comments on when they walk in the house. And it's so beautiful. They say, whoa, who did that? And I said, it's California Closets. My name is Melissa, and this is my California Closet story.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining.
Well, you are out at St. Armand Circle for the Christmas tree lighting.
Right.
Beautiful weather out there.
That
Looked like there was a big crowd, too.
39 years they've been doing it.
Wow,
and the
I didn't
cars
know
were
that.
packed all the way back toward Sarasota Yacht Club, which also they light the fleet on this night, too. So there's a lot of activities going on, and
Right.
weather has to cooperate. Now, we've got a big parade tomorrow night downtown Sarasota. It should be okay for that, too. So the weather is working out absolutely perfectly for all these things that are kicking off the holiday season. You know, we don't get the snow here, so we have to have all these events to get us in the mood.
Of course.
That's right. Temperatures are very warm for this time of year. The Van Wezel webcam showing skies generally fair throughout most of the day. Just a few clouds this evening. Those clouds not producing any rainfall, just some nice clouds around. They'll be the same tomorrow. Now, we will see some fog that will form. Look at this interesting shot. I love this shot. I just saw it. And Raymond sending this one as the sun was setting. And a beautiful picture here, too, of the jetty. Larry Sullivan sending this one in, and some folks out there enjoying that. And this one by, again, near Osprey. This is from Gary Bolin sending this one in as well. And then one more, Fred Seeger. This, I believe, was out on Casey Key. Fred, I think that's it. Either that Siesta or Casey Key usually sends them in from. Appreciate all those photos. Beautiful to see that nice sunset tonight here along the Sun Coast. Titan radar picture showing a little bit of rain up to the north and down to the south. What we have here is basically a weak frontal boundary. It's a trough of low pressure, which will eventually turn into, it looks like, a low pressure area, which will swing a cold front very close to us on Sunday and Monday, but it's not going to have much success of getting through. These showers down to our south just due to an easterly wind flow, but generally we're looking at this east to northeasterly wind flow here to the south. Very light wind going on here along the west coast of Florida. Maybe a more northerly turning tomorrow late afternoon, but for the most part, winds will stay less than 10 miles an hour. 66 degrees right now. It's nice. It's fair, too. Skies are clear at this time. Almost seeing a full moon. I know we have the super moon coming up over the weekend. Dew point is at 59, and the humidity 78%. An east wind at 7, and the pressure 30.15. That continues to rise at this hour. And with that kind of pressure, you're going to see blue skies. And I think we'll see that tomorrow after the fog burns off. Today's high was warm, 83 degrees. Not close to the record, though. 88 set back in 1991. This morning's low was running high, too, at 60 degrees. Our normal low at 56. Temperatures around the area into the mid to upper 60s across the area. Braden Country Club 67, the same at Rosedale, and 65 at Lake Sarasota, and 67 degrees at Plantation. 69 in Inglewood, and Port Charlotte now at 67 degrees. The hourly forecast tomorrow, not much change. You know, we go through the entire work week with beautiful weather. Sometimes the weekend can be a changing situation. That is not the case right now. We are looking at temperatures in the upper 70s to low 80s right through the 3 to 4 o'clock hour, and looks to be just a little foggy in the morning. Well, the futurecast is showing that fog more concentrated to the north of us, but it'll be patchy around here. There's a chance we could see some on Sunday, too. Here comes the front Saturday night. You'll see it just to the north of us, and then it eventually just dissipates on Sunday just to the north of the Tampa Bay area. Well, nationally, there's not a whole lot going on. The storm is moving quickly through Wisconsin, Michigan, and also heading off toward the northeast, but it's all pretty much west to east flow or zonal flow. We'll start to get in more of a drop from Canada beginning late next week. As we talked about a week ago, the cold spell will be here on Thursday, but more so Friday and Saturday of next week. Temperatures into the 30s now in places like Detroit, Toronto, and Cleveland. And highs tomorrow will be in the 50s in those places. Minneapolis 48, Kansas City 61, and Dallas will be at 80 degrees, 67 in Atlanta. For boaters tomorrow, great boating weather with the exception of the fog in the morning, a light chop out there. And beaches will see a high of 78 degrees. Tides on your screen upcoming. A low tide would be at 6:06 tomorrow morning. Tonight, some fog, otherwise 62. And then tomorrow, look for mostly sunny, a little bit of fog in the morning. 80 degrees, the extended forecast calling for delightful weather, warm too through Wednesday. And then the cooler weather moves in on especially Friday of next week. Back to you, Jacqueline.
All right, looking forward to it. Thank you, Bob. A high-ranking former Trump administration official, Michael Flynn, pleading guilty to lying to the FBI. ABC's Serena Marshall reports from the U.S. District Court with new details on just what top officials knew about his contact with the Russians.
Once one of the president's closest advisors, now
lock him up!
Facing the same chance he once led against Hillary Clinton.
Right. Lock her up!
Michael Flynn leaving court after pleading guilty and agreeing to fully cooperate with the special counsel.
How many more figures have to be brought to justice because of their ties with Russia before we end up connecting all these dots?
The charge stems from his contacts with Russian Ambassador Sergei Kislyak in December 2016. The Obama administration had just imposed sanctions on Russia for their election meddling. The same day, Flynn spoke with the then Russian ambassador. Flynn then consulted with a senior transition team official who said the Trump team did not want Russia to escalate the situation. Flynn made that request directly to the ambassador, and Russian President Putin did not issue retaliatory sanctions at that time. Sources tell ABC News that senior official was the president's son-in-law, Jared Kushner.
And I think what they're looking at is, were there any conversations with the Russians, not during the transition, but during the campaign?
The plea documents suggest the special counsel may also be focused on President Trump's firing of FBI Director James Comey, who testified.
I understood him to be saying that what he wanted me to do was drop any investigation connected to Flynn's account of his conversations with the Russians.
In the president's only public event Friday,
President, any comment on Michael Flynn being indicted, sir?
Ignoring questions. But in a statement, the White House sought to downplay the plea deal, writing nothing about the guilty plea or the charges implicates anyone other than Mr. Flynn.
A confidant of Mr. Flynn tells ABC News that Flynn is prepared to testify about Mr. Trump and others inside the White House if needed. Serena Marshall, ABC News, Washington.
New concerns that Obamacare enrollment could fall short by 2018 because of the Trump administration's decision to cut off open enrollment. Nearly 2.8 million people have already signed up on the federal exchange so far. That's about 700,000 more than this time last year. But the open enrollment period has been cut short. It now ends on December 15th instead of the end of January, although some state-based exchanges have extended the period to as late as January 30th. The program's advertising budget was also slashed by 90%. Last year, 9.2 million people used the exchange. President Trump has repeatedly said slashing the corporate tax rate will create jobs and increase pay for the middle class. But major CEOs now admit that it is not necessarily what they plan to do with that money that they will save. CNN's Christina Alessi explains.
Just in time for the holidays, Republicans seem poised to deliver a gift to U.S. businesses.
It reduces the corporate rate from 35% all the way down to 20%. And it provides a one-time low tax rate to return corporate money parked overseas, trillions and trillions of dollars.
Republicans say that workers benefit when companies pay less tax. It'll free up cash to hire employees and expand operations.
Those are jobs. That's money we want to bring back. We're going to create expensing that incentivizes company to spend capital here and create jobs.
But how much will the average American really benefit from corporate tax cuts? Will it really trickle down? Even executives aren't promising much. The Wall Street Journal asked a group of them if they'd pump more money into their businesses in front of Trump's very own economic advisor.
If the tax reform bill goes through, do you plan to increase your company's investment, capital investment? Just a show of hands, the tax reform goes through? Okay.
Why aren't the other hands up?
A tepid response, considering companies are also getting extra sweeteners, including a reduced rate on trillions parked overseas if they bring that money back home. But CEOs of major companies admit that workers won't necessarily see more jobs or higher wages, at least not right away.
What about jobs and wages? Does that argument work? Is that an area you would focus on and you would invest in?
I think principally it's not a short-term change. It's not like there's a big box of money out there that suddenly comes back and gets reinvested by us in 2018.
In fact, studies show the last time there was a similar holiday on foreign profits in 2004, about 60 to 90 cents of every dollar went to stockholders, not investment. Bottom line, the tax break was not an effective way to grow the economy, according to the Congressional Research Service. And experts don't think it'll be different this time around.
How much of that $3 trillion is likely to come back to be used to hire folks, invest in research and development, build new plant facilities and manufacturing? I would suspect it's fairly low.
But the fervor for big corporate tax cuts is helping fuel a so-called Santa Claus rally in the stock market. And you know that's making President Trump very happy.
Well, U.S. construction spending is up. The Commerce Department reports it surged 1.4% in October. That's the best gain in 5 months. The highest gains are being seen in single-family home construction, while apartment building construction has fallen. Although home building has been weak for much of the year, economists expect it to rebound as a strong job market boosts sales in the coming months. Well, sports is next, but first, here's Jimmy Kimmel.
Tonight, a special show with the cast and director of a small independent film called Star Wars: The Last Jedi. Ryan, tell us one thing that you want to reveal, something, maybe just a little nugget of something. Please, this audience demands it. They want it.
Christmas Traditions by LuxArt Silks, where more is merrier. Make your holidays sparkle with style. Browse our amazing showroom, cute collectible cottages, and beautiful Christmas displays. Find the inspiration, selection, and quality you need to deck the halls merry and bright. Christmas Traditions also features the area's largest selection of quality pre-lit Christmas trees, every size, shape, and color, and plenty of decorations to make your home shine for the holidays. Christmas Traditions by LuxArt Silks, where more is merrier. Visit us on New 301, just a quarter-mile north of University Parkway.
For 30 years, it's been an honor for the Michaels on Ice team to serve you.
We love that our restaurant, wine cellar, and ballroom have become your favorite gathering places, and we love catering your parties.
From everyday celebrations to life's greatest occasions, please join us soon for new culinary adventures. A toast to 30 years.
And to many more.
This is an important medical announcement. Xarelto and Pradaxa have been linked to uncontrollable bleeding and even death. If you've been prescribed one of these drugs and have experienced these dangerous side effects, you may be entitled to substantial compensation. Studies show that Pradaxa can cause more heart attacks than warfarin, and other countries have already issued safety warnings against this drug. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. The call is confidential, there's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to Pradaxa victims, and thousands of Xarelto victims are filing their legal cases. Call the Drug Watch hotline if you or a loved one used Xarelto or Pradaxa and experienced uncontrollable bleeding, brain hemorrhage, or even death. You must call now.
Call 800-793-6055. 800-793-6055.
America. Drug addiction is plaguing our great country. Every minute of every day, one of our citizens is rushed to the emergency room with a drug overdose. Many will never leave, never see the dawn of a new tomorrow in our great nation. Call Make America Sober Again now, before this disease destroys your family, your friends, your country. If you or someone you know is struggling with a drug or alcohol addiction, make the next minute in your life count. Make America Sober Again is committed to connecting you with someone compassionate and caring to help you right now. Call now and be connected to a treatment center in our network. Call Make America Sober Again now.
Call 800-793-6592. That's 800-793-6592.
Soldiers in the Army National Guard live up to a set of time-honored principles.
I will always place the mission first. I will never accept defeat. I will never quit. I will never leave a fallen comrade.
Learn more at nationalguard.com.
Now, sports.
Venice High School football hosting the reigning state champions in a state Final Four game tonight in Venice. The Raiders beat the Indians in this exact game last year, but now it's Venice with the home field advantage. The opening drive for Venice, they attempt a field goal, but it's blocked. It's picked up by the Raider defender, and he goes all the way to the house for the game's first touchdown, 7-0 for the Raiders. We get to the second quarter. Venice gets into the red zone, and Bryce Carpenter runs it in for an Indian score. The Raiders lead 10-7. Before the half, the Raiders facing a 3rd and long. Quarterback Derek Wingo escapes the pressure and launches one deep for a wide open man, and it's a touchdown for the Raiders. You can see it right there. But the Indians come back in the third. It's Carpenter to Javon Hiley. The Indians cut the deficit again to 3, and then following an interception, it's Carpenter again from 15 yards out. Venice takes their first lead of the night. The Indians win 27-20, and they will now face Bartram Trail in the state championship game in Orlando next Saturday, December 9th. So a big congratulations to our hometown team. Well, Florida State looking for a new head football coach after the resignation of Jimbo Fisher. Fisher leaving the Noles to coach at Texas A&M, where he'll make a reported $7.5 million a season, second highest salary in college football. He spent 8 seasons as the Seminoles head coach, winning a national championship and 3 conference titles. He'll replace Kevin Sumlin at Texas A&M, who was fired last weekend. Among the reported candidates to replace Fisher at FSU, Oregon coach Willie Taggart, a Manatee High graduate. And the New York Yankees have picked ESPN broadcaster Aaron Boone to succeed Joe Girardi as manager. Now 44, Boone has never been a manager or even a coach at any level since retiring as a player after the 2009 season. His 11th inning home run off Boston's Tim Wakefield won Game 7 of the AL Championship Series for the Yankees against Boston. Boone was a big league third baseman from 1997 to 2009 and an All-Star in 2003 when New York acquired him from the Reds at the trade deadline. Well, that's a look at sports tonight. We'll have your winning lotto numbers when we come back.
At Tidewell Hospice, we know it's never too late to say thank you to our military veterans. The Tidewell Honors Veterans Program has provided care to more than 13,000 military families since 2008. Tidewell volunteers help honor veterans through special pinning ceremonies that demonstrate our appreciation for the freedom our veterans fought to defend. If you know a veteran who can benefit from end-of-life care, call or visit tidewell.org today. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
Hi, I'm Chef Bob. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday morning on ABC7, where we'll be serving up the most awesome dishes. Then stop by your neighborhood Publix, pick up the recipe card and all the ingredients.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beautyrest, iComfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
Listen to this important message. If you owe money to the IRS, you will want to hear this. Penalties and interest compound daily on your back taxes, putting you under a mountain of debt. Tax 10,000 has years of experience connecting people with tax resolution specialists. Working through the IRS Fresh Start program, they will handle all the necessary forms, and if you qualify, you may end up saving thousands of dollars. Call Tax 10,000 at 800-817-1064.
The following message is brought to you by Mesobook.com.
People who have been diagnosed with mesothelioma have many questions. How did I get this disease? What are my treatment options? How will this affect my loved ones? You need answers, which is why we offer a free book written by medical professionals who have treated mesothelioma.
Call toll-free at 1-800-777-1366 or go to mesobook.com.
So I never had closet systems before. Our designer, Bridget, was able to listen and ask the right questions, taking our ideas and making them happen. We were totally satisfied from beginning to end. I knew the California Closets would help me with every aspect of the design process, and they delivered 100%. My name is Teresa, and this is my California Closet story.
Enjoy some of the best Suncoast restaurants on me. Just go to mysuncoast.com/dining, sign up for the newsletter if you haven't already, and you can win a $50 gift card to a restaurant in our area. We'll pick a winner each week, so go on our website and sign up now.
The Florida Lottery winning numbers are sponsored by Frontier Fios.
Stargazers, astronomers, and curious sky watchers will get a chance to witness the first and only supermoon of this year on Sunday night. Supermoons happen when the sun, moon, and earth align and a full or new moon aligns with the sun's lunar orb. The supermoon tends to be brighter and appear to be larger than its usual size. And when's the best time to actually see a supermoon? Well, astronomers say either right after sunset or minutes before the next sunrise. And Bob, how's the weather going to look for people who are trying to look at that supermoon?
I hope it's not foggy. Fog is going to be the biggest concern
Right.
with that, but generally it looks to be okay throughout most of the day and throughout most of the night, just like we're seeing tonight. So enjoy your weekend. It should be absolutely outstanding. Temperatures upper 70s to low 80s.
All right, looking forward to it. Thank you so much, Bob. And thank you all for joining us. We'll see you back here on Monday. Have a great weekend.